Hello everyone, I am Muni Gautam, Assistant Professor in Biani Group of Colleges. Today we're going to discuss the poem Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening, written by an American poet, Robert Frost. Let's have a brief introduction of Robert Frost. As I told you, he is an American poet and he is famous for his realistic depiction of rural life and command over American colloquial speech. He is 4 times Pulitzer winner in poetry. And for more detail you can find in any good book. Let's talk about our poem Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening. It is one of the most important and wonderful poem in English literature, I must say. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, our first Prime Minister, is very close to this poem that will discuss the last lines of the poem. Right? This poem does not only depict about the beautification and glorification of nature, winter and calmness, tranquility. It also have a symbolic meaning, a hidden meaning, that one must have goal oriented in one's life and one should not distracted by the temptations or attractions of life. I will not say it happens with students because it is so very common with everybody that a person has a goal in one's life, and when he is attracted by any other attractions of life. I will not mention the attractions because you all know what I am referring towards, that are mobile phones, TV, cinema, and there are many more things. So the poem talks about that one should have a goal in one's life and one should not stopped by the distractions, by the attractions of life. One must go on and never stopped, only stopped by the death. Let's start poem. Whose woods these are, I think I know. He is questioning whose woods these are. And now he is answering, I think I know. He knows that whose woods these belong to. His house is in the village though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. Fill up with snow because that was wintry evening and the snow was falling down, okay? And my little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near, between the woods and frozen lake. The darkest evening of the year, the darkest evening of the year, that is the most important line because that is not his routine form, that to stop in middle of his journey, and that is why the horse get disturbed, that why the master is stopped here, because this is not the pausing time. He is questioning and he is thinking that this is not our my little horse must think it queer. It stopped without farmhouse near. Now the poet says that horse must be thinking that why we stopped here, because he cannot see any farmhouse near. So he is questioning his stopping, that why we have stopped here between the woods and frozen lake, because that was very wintry night and the darkest evening of the year. The horse is questioning the master that why we stopped here. This is not our routing time to stop here. But we stopped here, there must be some reason. He gives his harness bells a shake to ask if there is some mistake. Now the horse is questioning his master that why have we stopped here? This is not our point, this is not our destination, and there is no farmhouse nearby the woods. So why we stopped here? The only other sounds the sweep of easy winds and downy flake, because there was so tranquility. The weather was so wintry and there was so peace around there. There was only the sounds of wind, okay, and the snow which was falling down. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. These two lines, these are repetition. Repetition shows the emphasis that one must go on till the death. But I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. The last two lines are repetition. Repetition shows the emphasis that one must go on in one's life. One should not stop by any distractions or any temptations or any attractions in life. Sleep. Sleep symbolizes death. Like before death, one should not stop in one's life. One should always continue in accomplishing the goals to fulfill the dreams. Okay. The poem consists of 4 quatrains and the narrative is simple. In this poem, there are 2 metaphors. Sleep. Sleep is metaphor of death. Like the poet says, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. Means there are lot of things to do before the death. Miles to go is metaphor for continuing journey of life. That I have said, miles to go before I sleep. There are a lot of things to do in one's life to accomplish goals, to fulfill dreams, to achieve goals before one's death. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching this video.